Hey everybody, sorry, video started and I'm just sitting here watching the timer click by. I've got your video here for your notes on patterns and sequences, so please get out your notes page and we'll go through this really quick. Here we go. So a sequence is a ordered list of numbers. Hopefully you know that. You've seen these before, I'm sure. 2, 4, 6, 8. That is a pattern where the numbers are going up 2 every time. A term is a number in a sequence. So if I said in the one above here, if I said what is the third term, well, you would say it was 6. So the number in the sequence is a term. Now, whether you're given a list of numbers, ordered pairs, or a table for sequence and patterns, you always want to make what's called an H chart. And it looks like what you see below. An H chart, where you have the letter N. The letter N is always used for when we do sequences because it looks like this. If we can look here, the nth term, like the 10th, the 5th, the 4th, okay, the term that you're looking for, the N is the number that you will use for this. It's always used for sequences. So when you write out your H chart, you'll always start with the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 on the left side over here. Right here is where you will actually do the math problem, and over here is where you'll get the result of that math problem. So you draw an H, okay, you put the letter N here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 down the side here, and we'll work out these problems. So we go to the first example. It says find the rule for the following sequence. Well, the first number, again, first number is -1, the second number is 3, the third number is 7, the fourth number is 11. Okay, now you should be able to see that this is going up by 4 every time. +4, +4, +4. And a big mistake that a lot of people make is the first thing they want to write down is +4, but that's not how it's done. Once you've figured out how the number is changing or how it's changing from one term to the next, that's where you write in front of the letter N. So it went up by 4 every time. I write 4N. Now sometimes this is a little tricky, like this first one is a bit tricky. The next thing you want to do is figure out how you get from this number right here to the very first number, which is -1. Well, in this case, the only way to get from 4 down to -1 is to subtract 5. Now, if you then cover up the N and do that math problem, you should always have the very first number. 4 minus 5 is -1. Okay, and here's the way you would work this out in the middle here. You'd say 4 times 1, because it's the first number. Again, that number just goes right there. And when you subtract 5, you get -1. Now, you'll probably be able to see it a little bit easier with the second number. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 minus 5 equals 3. And again, notice that every time we're looking for a certain number, the first number we put a 1 for N. The second number we put a 2. So hopefully you see the third number. We're going to put a 3 for N. 4 times 3 is 12, minus 5 equals 7. And the last one, for the fourth number, 4 times 4 is 16, minus 5 is 11. So again, our rule for that particular problem is 4N minus 5. The reason we want to figure out the rule is because a question after this might say, well, what is the 30th number in this list of numbers? So if it was that question, if you want to try to start with the first number and then add 4 and do that 30 times and hopefully get the right answer, that's going to take you a while and you could mess it up. Instead, if you're looking for the 30th number and you know the rule, we'll just put a 30 right here where the N is. You do 4 times 30, which is 120, and 120 minus 5 is 115. And now, without trying to add 4 a bunch of times, you have that answer very quickly, and you can say the 30th number in this list of numbers is 115. Okay, so again, let's look real quick at the rules, what we actually did. Step 1, rewrite as an H chart. which is what we did right here. This is our H chart. Step 2, what are you increasing or decreasing by each time? Again, we found out that it was going up 4 every time. Step 3, multiply the first position by the number you are increasing or decreasing by. 4 times 1, 4. Then ask yourself, step 4, what would you have to add or subtract to get to the term, the first term? Again, we took away 5 to get to that first one. Write it as a rule, check your rule with the table, and that's how you do those, okay? Okay, let's go to the second page. Now we're going to find the rule. Now in this case, they don't give us the first number, they give us the third number. So here's what it says. Find the rule for the following sequence. Sometimes the position number does not start at, really that should say 1 because there's no, you don't really want to start with a number in a 0 spot. The first one is usually the one you're going to deal with. So again, we want to first, we drew our H chart, okay? We're going to find out how this sequence is changing. If we look, we see that it's going up +4, +4, +4. So again, over here, we're going to write down 4n. And now we don't know the first number, do we? But we do know the fourth number, we do know the third number. So maybe we can figure it out that way. So we're going to do, take the position 3, put it right here. 4 times 3 is 12. How do you get to 13? You add 1. That is our rule. So now we can come over here and we can write down some of these answers. We already know that when we do 3, we should get an answer of 13. We do 4, we should get an answer of 17. 5, we should get 21, and so on. But since we know that rule, we can also figure out the first number. So, again, the first number is just cover up the n, because you're just going to put a 1 there anyways. 4 times 1 is 4. So instead, just cover up the n. We know the first number is 5. And then we write it out. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 equals 5. Then for the second number, 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. Third number, 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 is 13. Fourth number, 4 times 4 is 16, plus 1 is 17. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 1 is 21. So again, our rule, 4n plus 1, and we should know that's right. Somebody said, hey, what's the 50th number in this list? Well, do it as fast as you can. 4 times 50 is 200, and 200 plus 1 would be 201. Okay, now you got some U-tries that you're going to work out on your own. But I am going to do a few others for you really quick. Trying to make this about 10 minutes long, so I'm going to do some more examples and show you how to do it a little quicker. We do want you to use the H chart, but there also is ways to do it when you don't always remember the H chart, because that obviously could happen. So again, after I do these other examples, you probably should write them somewhere, like a scratch piece of paper maybe. You're going to do try 1, example 3, and in the back you got another U-try and another example 4. Okay, so let's do example 3 really quick. Now this one is going to be a little trickier. It starts at -2, it then goes to -6, then -10, then -14. Hopefully you see that every time you're subtracting 4, subtracting 4, subtracting 4. So again, your rule tells you to write down subtract 4 and then put an n behind it. Then figure out how to get from -4 to your very first number, which is -2. Well, if you write a number line, it might help you, but to get from -4 to -2, you actually add 2. Let's just do a few of these real quick. This is why we have to be really good with our adding and subtracting rules, our multiplying with negatives and positives. We have to remember all those rules. Because again, our first number should be -2, then -6, then -10, and then -14. So -4, again, just cover up for the first number. -4 times 1 is -4, and -4 plus 2 is -2. For the second number, Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. And negative 8 plus 2 is negative 6. Negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. And negative 12 plus 2 is negative 10. And the last one, negative 4 times 4 is negative 16. And negative 16 plus 2 is negative 14. So our rule for this one, negative 4n plus 2. Okay, please don't forget to do this one. Alright, you got another U-try right here that you're going to do. So real quick, just stop the video and try that one. Okay, now we're back. Example 4. It tells you the rule for finding the nth term, 50th, 20th, 17th, whatever, in a certain sequence is negative 3n plus 4. From this rule, what would be the first 3 terms in the sequence? So that means we'd write 1, 2, 3 over here. We're following the rule, negative 3n plus 4. And so we're just going to do those problems. Negative 3 times 1 for the first number. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. Negative 3 plus 4 is positive 1. Again, if you're not quite sure when you do this kind of problem, use a number line to check. Negative 3 is here. Adding 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there. Positive 1. Okay? For the second number, negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. And negative 6 plus 4 is what? It's negative 2. So same number line, so now I'd be starting at negative 6, which is down here. Okay, I'm going to add 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That puts me at negative 2. And the last one, negative 3 times 3 is negative 9, and negative 9 plus 4 is negative 5. So the first 3 numbers in that one look like that. Okay, you got one more U-try, what you need to do. So you got 3 U-tries you need to have done when you get to class, and we'll check those. And again, really quick, I just want to run you through a few quick ones. Shouldn't take but a minute. So I'm just going to make one up. 2, 5, 8, 11. Pause the video and try this one really quick. Okay, we're back. Every time it's going up by 3, so I write down 3n. I ask myself, how do I get to that first number, which is 2? Oh, I subtract 1. There's the rule right there, 3n minus 1. You cover up the n, you should have the first number. 3 minus 1 is 2. Maybe you want to check the fourth number. So you put a 4 here. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 minus 1, 11. Done. Perfect. Okay, and make up another one. 4, 10, 16, 22, goes on forever, right? Give it a shot. Stop the video and try it. Okay, you're back. Hopefully you saw that every time it was going up by 6, plus 6, plus 6, plus 6. So the first thing you write down is 6n. Then you ask yourself, how do you get from 6 to 4? Well, you got to subtract 2. There's your rule, right there. Done. Cover up the n, you have the first number. 6 minus 2 is 4. Maybe check the fourth one. Put a 4 here. 6 times 4 is 24. Minus 2 is 22. Okay? Negative 2, 0, 2, 4, 6, and on forever. Okay, give this one a shot. Okay, you're back. You see that it's going up 2 every time. Plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. So you write down 2n. Now you got to be careful. How do you get from 2 to negative 2? Well, in order to get from 2 to negative 2, you have to subtract 4. So again, you cover up the n. You should have the first number right there. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. Maybe check the fourth or maybe the fifth number. Put a 5 here. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. Okay? So, lots of easy practice, hopefully. Hopefully you learned how to do these and maybe you didn't know before. But we will work more of these problems in class and we're going to try to make you perfect at this. Unlike my talking. Alright, y'all have a good day.